So anxiety inside and out, the science. Here we go. Do you think your anxiety level has risen in the past 2 years? I'd love to see people put this in the chat box. Why? And you don't have to put why or why not, but how many people think their anxiety has risen in the last 2 years? Anybody? Yeah. I mean, it would almost be, I think it would almost be lying. I would wonder if anybody says no. Slightly risen. Yes, definitely big. Yes. Yes. Yes, probably. Now, anxiety and stress are unconscious. They're unconscious. A lot of times we don't even know. The last thing, have you ever had a spouse or a family member tell you, boy, you seem stressed? What do? You snap at them and go, no, I'm not. Right. That's an example of being stressed. It's kind of funny. And so I always tell my son, who is trying to get a girlfriend, he's 20. He tells me, boy, you seem stressed or something that to me. I go, that'll be something you never say to a girlfriend or a wife. I go, because all that's going to do is increase their anxiety because it's going to trigger them. So you have to think of something else to do. So I'm just going to give you the reality of all this because this is like my zone of genius here. Okay. So why or why not? We could easily say that the pandemic, okay, but it's the pandemic, it's everything from it. Mainly it's uncertainty. When I look around, I don't see one person that I know of anyway, that hasn't been affected in some way by the pandemic or a result of it, like the inflation of job loss, moving, somebody is in ill health, somebody has died, even a person's dog has died. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I have seen everybody, formula shortage, everybody, there's shortages of everything. And it isn't all of those uncertainties that we have experienced, even in the beginning of the pandemic, when we saw the shelves at Target or the grocery stores be empty, those have created memories in us. And they have actually made us not be able to trust life as much anymore. And so we were all kind of free and happy-go-lucky before, at least as in comparison, but our anxiety definitely overall has gone up. So there's fear. We have fear. Almost everybody has fear. If you've ever been through anything difficult in your life, not just the last 2 years, but anything difficult, fear from our past impacts us on an unconscious level. It could be something that your parents said to you that you're never going to be good enough or anything. Okay. This fear affects our waking state, our rest, our health, and our performance. Fear of not being good enough is even one. Fear of uncertainty of the future is another. They're very different, but they're the same. Fear impacts our life from the inside out, because if you have fear, you don't go fearlessly out to try to conquer the world or be who you could be and be your full potential. It really makes you hold back fear. Okay. And not being able to get formula, having somebody potentially die or get sick or get on an airplane or who knows what, whatever the fear is, it's probably so deep seated and we might not be talking to people about it, or we might, but there even is probably fear even beneath that. Okay. And so here, structure and clarity. Here's the thing that is when fear sets in, we lose structure, we lose clarity. So I'm going to ask, are your goals, roles, execution plans for your life clear? Are your professional goals crystal clear? Where do you want to be in 1 year, professionally and personally? Because it all affects you. Now, I, as a coach, because I'm a certified coach, executive coach or personal coach, I am always going to look at things through the lens of where do you want to be? If you're here now, where do you want to be? As soon as you start to set goals and work towards that, it gets you out of this because it's empowering you to take back that control. So there is control. There's less uncertainty. Okay. So structure and clarity. Impact. The impact of anxiety is generational. Listen to this. Scientific studies suggest that emotional anxiety is likely embedded in our DNA and passed on to our children. So how we choose to think affects not only us, but our children's future and their children's as well. And I'm going to give you an example of this. So I remember one day I was allergic to over 50 things. One of them was pork, including bacon. And I love bacon. Okay. Well, I was allergic to this and I had been allergic to it for a couple of years. I woke up, I meditated like I normally do. And I had kind of a funky meditation where I just didn't feel like relaxed. I got in the shower. I recognized that I got in the shower and I felt a little weird. So there was anxiety already on board, but I was not admitting it. Okay. So just watch, see if you can see yourself through me. Then I started to smell, when I was drying my hair and stuff, I started to smell bacon. And I was like, somebody's making bacon. So it was a little bit irritating to me. Then I came downstairs and my son was there and he was making bacon for breakfast. Okay. Then I saw that he wasn't making just one pack of bacon. He was making 2 packs of bacon. This is prior to the pandemic, way prior. And I was like, that is $7 a pack. And I was trying to hold it back. And I did hold it back. But when I found out it was 2 packs of bacon, I was like, whoa, that's going to be like $15 for your breakfast. Okay. That you're making. And I said that and I watched him and his energy just shift. And I watched my daughter look at me like, wow, she better watch out. She doesn't know what kind of mood I'm in. Now, that whole day, I affected their entire day, just like a drop of water. A drop of water went in to the pond, the still pond, and it affected them. It affected their interactions with their teachers. It affected, I had no idea if they had tests going on or what, but I impacted them. Not only did I impact them that day, when they got home from school, I bet you they were wondering, am I in a good mood or not? So all of this now, how we act, it also has been proven that when we're pregnant, our personality, when we're pregnant, if we're stressed, that affects the baby. It affects the baby's actual personality for their life. So all of this impacts us. Now, not one of us doesn't have a story from our past, our parents or our grandparents. Yet no pressure, Ashley says. Ashley, call me. Okay. And so not one of us doesn't have a story from our parents or grandparents. Now think about this. The impact of anxiety is generational. My grandparents were immigrants and they had this story and it was, we have to work hard to survive. Now my parents paid for my college. I was very, very lucky that they paid for my college back when it was like $2,500 a year. Okay. And so that happened. Now it shows you how old I am, but that happened. And I never really had to, I mean, I work hard to survive, but I didn't have to pay for my college where a lot of people did. But I have actually been wired with certain messages that my parents have told me, and it's very hard to overcome those. So the impact of anxiety in a family is very generational. Just want you to know. Now, here's some neuroscience. I call this integrative neuroscience because I want you to integrate this into your life. So mirror neurons, there are mirror neurons in our brain. And I have a great video on this that I can share with you. It's not in the presentation, but mirror neurons over here on the right, look at the over on the right in this teal column. Mirror neurons in our brain mimic the feelings, the unheard message behind our words. It allows us to understand the nuances of complex behavior and emotion. So you know how you can tell somebody is out of integrity, they're saying one thing and doing another? That's because the mirror neurons are active. So if somebody is in integrity and has a lot of compassion and empathy for you, you'll be able to feel that. And that's the mirror neurons that you're feeling. And when people are out of integrity, it almost feels like they're detached or no compassion. That's the mirror neurons. They're saying one thing and doing another. So these small things we have picked up from others, they create our beliefs and our behaviors. Okay, so now watch this. I'm going to give you an example. If when you're with somebody, you quiet your mind. Now, how many people have anybody ever walked into a room and you felt like there was an anxiety or an anxiousness, a stress in the room? Like this has happened to me when I was young with my parents and my spouse and my kids. You walk in the room, don't even have to see their face. You could just see their back and you know there's something tense right there. Okay, yeah, if you've ever done that. Yeah, okay, some people are more sensitive to this than others. Everybody's on a range. It doesn't really matter where you are on that range, okay? But usually some people can sense this. If you can sense this, you can change it and you can change the narrative. I want to put you in control of the narrative. So if you quiet your mind right there, I remember I walked in and my spouse was very upset. I didn't know about what, he just in a weird mood. And I go, oh no, what am I going to do? So I went to the bathroom as soon as I got home and I was like, well, what should I do? Should I go ask him? Maybe I did something wrong. Sometimes we take it on, right? And so that's not what to do. I'll tell you, if you quiet your mind and focus inward on how you feel, like how's your tummy feel? And you're not supposed to label it, just how you feel, these mirror neurons are going to start to kick in. You're going to understand what's going on and you're not going to add to it. Okay. So what is your reality? Can you change it? So right away, you could start to see your reality is starting to get stressed when they're there. So mirror neurons make me feel like they feel. So if they feel stress, I'm starting to feel that. So if you think of a stressful situation, you have the power to reframe that or choose what mindset you have. If this makes sense. So you can see what the reality is and you can change it. Now, this is amazing because you can do this in a business meeting. You can do it at home. This is going to affect your entire life. Invaluable thing here. What do you sense person B in them? What is your partner, child feeling? Anybody, business person? Are you feeling this? How is it affecting you? Can you change how you feel? Control the influence or the narrative. Okay. So right there, you can feel how they feel. And what I want you to do is control your narrative. So just relax your shoulders, relax your abdomen, and just allow all expression to fade from your face, almost as if you're going to meditate. Okay. If you start to relax, relaxing is more powerful than it is to be stressed. When you're stressed, you're fragmented. Think of a pie chart. And that pie, when you're stressed, is in like 100 pieces. When you're relaxed, you become one. All of those pieces go down and they become one full pie, uncut. Okay. So now if you can relax right there, when they're edgy, they start to relax. So your mirror neurons become more powerful and they start to relax. So now you affect them instead of them affecting you. This is a really cool tool. If you want to know how to do that more, just email me and we can do a coaching call. Okay. So that's a little bit of mirror neurons. If I go back, remember, okay, fear, okay, structure and clarity. A lot of that is gone nowadays because we've had to figure out what to do. And now that kids have gone back to school, I wanted to make sure that I put this in here because now we need new routines. Also, last week I did a brain hack on routines and going back to school. This impact is going to be generational. Okay. And mirror neurons, you can start to change this. Okay. So what is working for you? Like do an inventory right now on what's working. If you could jot down on a piece of paper, what's working, when it comes to stress and anxiety. When you feel stress, what are you doing? Are you going outside? Like, what are you doing? And then what is your goal? Like from coming to this class, like what's your goal? What would you like to learn? What is the goal? Okay. What is your goal? Write that down. Take a second. And you don't have to share it in the chat, but I want you to take it. What is one thing that's working right now? Do you go to bed earlier? What are you doing that's working? Everybody has one thing that's working, at least. And then what is your goal in the next 3 or 6 months regarding stress and anxiety? Because you are working with one of the masters, like probably I'm one of the 5 top people to work with stress in the whole country. So what's your goal? We can make that happen. Okay. So next, I have this worksheet that I can send to you. Just email me. Okay. I didn't know how to get it to everybody. But if you email me, I'll put my email in the chat box like right now. It's Michelle@michelleann.com. Okay. If you email me, I'll send you this. I have a bunch of resources in here. Tools for change. One of them is an integrated intention. So what you have to do is I did this on a coaching call with another client, not from this company, but this morning, creating an integrated intention. You want to have an intention for your life. It's almost like your purpose for living. Okay. And you want to have that be your go-to. So when you're stressed, if you go to your intention and become and embody how that feels to be that, like it's your guiding principle. It's your rudder to the sailboat. Okay. So no matter what storm comes up, you're still going to go the same direction and you're going to keep going in that direction. And you might have to steer harder when the storm comes up, anxiety or stress, but you still have a direction for your life. Okay. You want to be in harmony with who you are at all times, and stress will take us off of our course, off of our narrative. So that's a tool for change. And then this is another worksheet that I can send you. But it's not necessarily needs to be a worksheet. It is, what will it feel like when you achieve your goal? So in 3 months or 6 months, when you have actually made progress towards your goal, what is it going to feel like? And the key word is feel. When you actually have less stress, what is your life going to be like? So in order to actually make a goal come true, we actually have to understand what it's going to feel like in our body. That's going to drive that intrinsic motivation to make that change, to go to the gym or do whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. This integrated intention, really, really, really important, really important.